Welcome back to Smoldering with Generic Rage. Alright, let's keep going in order to activate the fucking pump thing, in order to raise the first part of the door.
In sections like this, it would make sense for the Dahar to try and chase after us.
The Haka, but remember we're in the present right now. No, sorry, the past right now, so the Haka cannot reach us here.
God, I keep forgetting because, there are certain sections where the past and present look kind of identical.
Well, the subtle change is the fact that the past is more lit and a bit more colorful, while the present is more bleak and gray. But yeah, due to the edginess overload, it's a bit hard to distinguish. I don't blame you. And yeah, again, this beat is shitty because you need it's precise timing. And what you need to do with the rope is to keep pressing R1. But the problem is the timing that the prince runs from one edge to the other needs to be in time, so when he starts then running, it doesn't get mauled by the saw trap. Trust me, it's harder than it looks. Also, another thing. Yeah, pretty much as I mentioned, have you noticed the fact that we haven't even come close to opening one part of a door? Like the going from one place to the other in order to get open the door takes forever on both parts. And keep in mind, opening the door is pretty much the halfway point of the game. Okay, man. Cool story, bro. Rawr. There we go. Oh, thank you for being so polite to let me climb up.
I know, right?
And not attacking me.
Shall we cut his hand? Sir, shall we just cut his hand off while he's hanging there?
That wouldn't be very sporty, please. Come on.
Who cares about sporting? They're the bad guys. What do they care?
Leaves, you're British. You should know to be sporty.
Not all of us are sporting, though. Well, then again,
look at that mauling in slow motion. How charming it is.
Then again, our country didn't birth the world's most infamous bike cheater.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy, that famous cyclist, Lance Armstrong.
I think I heard of him, but I don't know.
Yeah, he was revealed to have used drugs throughout his entire career.
Oh, let me guess, and then he committed suicide some months after.
No. He admitted to it, and he lost all of his achievements.
Yeah, but Dweebs, that's the thing. It kinda is a cycle, but happens here in Italy periodically. Like a famous biker, not biker, but cyclist, gets to win like a major, circuit. Then it's revealed that he was using drugs. It's shamed by the newspapers, and then he commits suicide a couple of months after. It's a really sad cycle. Sorry for the pun, it wasn't intended.
Hi. Anyway.
Yeah, moving on. Again, it just takes forever and we're barely at the point where we can activate the level. The good news at least is that, oh, there you go, I can also activate the trap from advantage here. Nice. The good news is that the backtracking after you've activated the lever that spring the part of the door actually takes less than getting here.
Lovely.
Now, how do I get it working?
Alright, this is one of the most interesting puzzles to activate because it's tied to one of the major doors. The problem is that it's heavily scripted. You don't have a lot of freedom here, let's just say that. Okay. Here's the thing, for this first part, you have the giant throwing the explosive dogs at you. What you need to do is, aside from defeating the enemies, keep an eye on the giant in order to not get bombed, literally. Then you need to run to one of the two breakable doors. Oh, that's nice. One of the two breakable doors and let baiting the giant into throwing the dog at it. This will make it explode and essentially reveal a path. One of them brings you to where you're supposed to go. The other actually leads to a death room that, one of those that leads to health upgrade.
Also lovely.
So essentially... Sorry?
Also lovely.
Yeah. And keep in mind, the more you go, the more intricate and challenging the death room actually become. There we go. There we go. There we go.
The name of the game is How to Be BS.
Yeah, Robo Jover strikes again.
There we go. Yeah, now I know what you're thinking. Theo, these things are so hideous and you you lose health anyway really fast. Why should you do these kind of things? They seem to be like counterproductive or something. Funny story. Let's just say that in the grand scheme of things, they're important overall. If it was my choice, I would not do this. Also, another thing. Yeah, compare this to how did you obtain the health upgrades in sense of time. Here is much more harsher because there you go. It's
Oh.
actively punishing the player for actually trying to achieve something. In
Do I
this
sound
case,
better now?
I don't mean they shouldn't be devoid of traps, but I just say that Warrior Within the game after this reaches a good compromise between the two options.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Warrior with him.
Sorry, the two pros. Ah, god damn it.
So, do I sound better?
Ah,
I guess not.
Alright, moving on.
Yeah.
What you need to do now is, as I mentioned, bait the giant into throwing one of the dogs to the other door, essentially to reveal the path. What you will do after that is to... oh, it's also, as I mentioned, it's custom for this death room to have one of the traps glitching out at the end, just like that. I don't know why.
Oh,
Anyway,
really?
after you get the room revealed, you can proceed that and you start climbing upward, essentially. As the intro to the room showed, there are some, weights that you need to climb onto, have the giant throw the dog at it, and make it collapse in order to reach him. I don't know, it's weird.
Really?
There we go.
Can you guys hear
Yeah,
me?
with... Yeah.
Barrel.
Oh,
It's
okay.
because you were cutting out again.
It's weird. You guys sound just fine to me for some reason.
There we go. Using the slow time mechanic, it's mandatory here because you need to reach the platform because it raises before it raises up. There we go.
Uh-huh.
And again, doing all this time, the giant keeps bombarding you, so you don't need to stand on one place.
Really?
Really, yeah.
Okay, am I sounding better or worse now?
Better.
Better.
Nice.
You aren't worth my time.
Yes, Robin, we know that. Just stop with the edge, please. Although, if I had to be honest, between the two, Shadow the Hedgehog is far more entertaining than this, at least.
Really?
I must remember my past. But
You
instead
can
of going
make-
around interviewing people about it, just sit here, cutting myself.
Yeah, again, Jova, you can make fun of of Shadow the Hedgehog at least. This
Yeah.
type of edginess is devoiding. People,
Have-
Theo,
Theo, have you ever seen?
Tell me
sorry,
about it.
You mean
the painfully doomed Shadow Show.
No, is that from Roger Vanderdime?
Him and AA. It's a Flash parody on. One of my favorite jokes is literally at the beginning where he parodies the beginning. I must find out my past, but instead of going around asking people about it, I'm just gonna stand here, cutting myself deeper and deeper. It's a good point. Why doesn't he go around asking people about it?
Right, what you need to do is precisely just wait on the opposite side of the wait. Why am I doing this? I shouldn't doing this, Theo, come on. There we go. What you need to do is to wait on the other side and let... there you go. But he hits it. This raises the weight and in turn allows me to climb further upward. God damn it.
Whoopsie.
Oh, these voices.
Well, if there's one thing that Robinaki does is good at is screaming, so yeah.
True.
Ubisoft realized this, so decided let's just have him scream like a madman.
Also, at least as I mentioned, the barrels and similar objects like that in this game are more useful than in Sands of Time because here you can find actually sand, not sand pockets that you can refill your amulet with. So essentially, you're not anymore forced to absorb enemies. So at least
Really?
that, so at least that from the first game is improved. What
Oh.
you need to do now, I think, is to use the weight when it was cut like that to reach another stairs and climb upward.
What time are you
I
guys
think it's
at?
on the other. Go
10,
to
16, 17.
yeah.
What? 16, 17?
No, 10. 10,
Oh.
23, 24.
Alright. I'm at
Go to 11.
10:45.
Alright, we're almost there. There you go, that's the stair I needed.
Stairs.
No, that's not Resident Evil 3 Dweebs. Almost there.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Click.
Turning.
Yeah.
Yeah, this turns in instead these clockwork-like mechanism that allow you to both progress and form the mechanism that you will need to use to activate the door contraption.
Reminder, we have to do all this just to get one single pathway
Yeah.
to work in the present.
Yeah, Jova, just to get one single, pillar from the two.
And for the-
Again, it's like the pacing is just god awful. In the first game, yes, it was a stretch and it was longer than when it should have been maybe. But at least you were traversing different rooms and different scenarios all the time, and different situations were happening. Here is just you can clearly tell that this game is, separated in acts or something.
For that matter, though, okay, so he needs to get the gear working. My question, why not just go on the gear in the past while he's at it?
Yeah, well, it's a bit less unintuitive, Jova, but you can understand it if you're seeing the pattern. If you stay still for a bit and learn the pattern.
Okay, I get that, but my question is that why doesn't he take advantage that he's in the past and just, travel through the gear in the past? I mean, what, is there some MacGuffin he's supposed to be
Oh
getting
no!
from the present right now?
In that case, no. Remember, Jova, I forgot if you didn't see it, but he said also in this when reaching here that the room in the future in the present was way too destroyed and to be usable. So essentially, you needed to travel to the past in order to unlock it. But regardless, Jova, this is the time where the Empress needs to be killed or at least met. So essentially, we need to open the door, not right here, right now.
So I get that. My question is this though. So, okay, he wants to go to the past to apparently unlock something in the present. My question is this: why not just keep on hiking through in the past? I mean, why does he need to go back to the present after it's fixed?
Because if I recall, the passage was blocked and you need to find another way. Jova, I don't know. The game pads very poorly.
That mook just melted through the wall.
Yeah. Well, again, the monsters, the sand monsters, kind of like, despite the blood and everything, they just disappear, like nowhere.
And there's no battle.
It's not even like
music.
in the first game where you got absorbed, you needed to absorb it in the dagger and everything. Here, we just literally get absorbed and that's it. There you go. There we go. Essentially, what we did right now is that thanks to those two weights, also not only this allows us to activate the mechanism, but also when we actually confront the giant, yes, because we'll need to do. One of the platforms will essentially, if you try to confront the giant first, the platform just sinks in and you're not able to reach him. However, if you now with the weights done like that, you can actually confront the giant more directly.
How nice.
There we go. It's a mechanism sound. We deal with it.
Deal with it, motherfucker.
Yeah. There we go. Platform there. Oh, and of course I get ambushed immediately.
Obviously.
It reminds me of that scene in Silent Hill, I think 1, where the player paused right as one of the dogs was attacking, and the protagonist, forgot what it's called, was examining one of the dog's houses, and was like, it looks like he was about to contain a dog. Thankfully, there are no dogs around here, and the dog is literally right behind him, trying to attack him.
Push! Push!
Pretty much. In fact, well, there's the thing. Unlike, say, in God of War, where you get this exact kind of like mechanic, these mechanisms don't feel you don't feel the weight of his mechanism at all. In the sense that let me be a bit more clear. When you do something like this in God of War, the way the motion is portrayed and the train kind of that you need to push it goes a bit slower than this. Makes you feel like Kratos, despite his massive strength, is actually pushing a very sturdy object, a very huge contraption that normally no human could try to push. Here, the prince just moves these, wood lever like it's made of pancake.
Yeah.
Just removes a bit of the immersion and everything. Because the prince, remember, the entire build of the prince is that he's not that strong. He's actually more acrobatic and everything. But again, it seems that we forgot that plot point. Alright, so the giant will now try to confront us immediately. And as soon as he steps in, of course, the platform raises down. And again, no fucking music. Just glitch it out, I guess.
Well, to be fair, I mean, even when there was music there, I didn't notice it because it's so boring.
I guess, but there's the thing, it just shows how this game is a complete clusterfuck of a mess. Ding dong.
Clusterfuck of a mess.
That sound effect is so cartoonish and it doesn't fit with what's going on at
That's
all.
the problem.
That's
That's the problem. It's a slowed down version. The normal sound version sounds actually more fair because it's a more less echo vibing thing sound effect.
it just clashes with the tone that the game is going for.
Yeah. You think it should be like in a game like Mickey Mania.
Or Mickey's Wild Adventure too.
Well, they're essentially the same game. One in the latter is updated re-release of the first one.
Basically, Mickey Mania was released on Super Nintendo Mega Drive, but then it got the better Sega CD version, with better music and actual voice acting from online.
And that got ported on the PlayStation.
Yeah, the PlayStation 1 is actually the better version because not only does it have slightly better music and even more detailed sprite work.
It actually has a bit more content, I think.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, fun fact, Pedro, I actually
you can get it
got
on the PlayStation Store, and it's European exclusive.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
I actually played it when I was a kid with my father, surprisingly, and yes, I actually got trolled by the easy mode. Essentially, it's one of those games where if you play in easy mode, you get halfway point, like not a game over screen, but early ending on screen that says, "Congratulations, jackass! Now play hard mode." That's because the game itself is it's quite hard.
Yeah.
You know, since you got, there's something I've been thinking about recently for some reason.
Okay, go ahead.
Why haven't you guys done the PS1/Nintendo 64 South Park game?
Not yet, you mean?
See, the thing is, Dwibs, I think you have to understand it. Before
There you go! Finally, after all this trouble, we finally managed to move the fucking contraption. About fucking time.
I fear my time runs short. While I rush about activating towers, no doubt.
Even the
Empress
game
is
for
busy
itself.
creating the sand.
There you go. Finally, we see the results of our struggle. Let's see. 1 bar removed. That's it.
Brilliant.
Really? Just get 1 bar.
This fucking game.
Everybody gets one, Dwibs. Anyway, to answer your question, Dwibs. See, the thing is, before Trey and Matt actually got involved in South Park games with Stick of Truth and onwards, the games were at best average.
Oh, we'll be tackling them someday, though.
Even for just a let's look at Joe, I mean, they're practically arcade-like, so they're not that
Do
much
they have
to talk about.
is there a story and campaign?
Even if it's probably like something like in the Simpsons Wrestling.
Yeah, the first game that Wiz just mentioned, it's a first-person shooter, and it does have a campaign with cutscenes and everything. The problem is that Trey and Matt only did the voice acting, and they didn't actually do the writing. So
Okay, so it should be fun to comment it on.
It is. I mean, it was fun for its time, I guess, because at the time it was just kind of the first one, and the fact that Trey and Matt did get the fact that the voice actors of the show did do the voices kind of made it bearable. But I mean, now that we have Stick of Truth and Fractured Ball Hole, it's just pales in
Yeah,
comparison.
that just doesn't compete.
Well, it's not like it's the same thing. We might as well still acknowledge that it existed with commentary.
That's
Oh,
that's
sure.
fair, Jova.
I'm not saying I don't want to do it. I'm just saying I'd rather do Fractured Butthole first.
Yeah.
Especially considering Fractured Butthole is a specific sequel to Stick of Truth that it finishes the story of the first game anyway, so it makes sense for us to finish that off first.
Sure. I'm not saying that, we should do that before that, obviously. I'm just saying we should do it eventually.
Besides, I don't want to subject Shira to that.
What, is it even bad? Besides, let her decide.
It's
Well,
just boring. I'm not sure if she has the
gameplay is incredibly boring, Jova. Let's just go with
I mean, regardless of the actual content, I guess, yeah, she could try if she wants, but it's up to her, as you said. Anyway, we now have to go back, and as you can see, we essentially, after you activate each of the, bar removing contraptions, you get like a shortcut to the back to the entrance. There we go, and we just need to drop. Come on, Tio. Oh, now again, I was trying to do the wall trick, but there you go, I didn't lose health. Now I just need to go back from the way they came. And there you go, as I mentioned, every time you will go around these parts, there's a giant spawning right automatically. And yeah, I could try avoid him, but if I go, to where I'm supposed to go, to climb and everything, he can catch up to me or throw something at him, so it's not it's recommended when you finish it off. But just as I mentioned, in easy mode, you can just slow time and bang him with that sound effect to finish him off in one go.
That sounded like a bit of the musical score. Dong dong dong.
I'm sorry, I don't care that it's slowed down. It just crashes so horribly.
I think it's called Mickey Mouse English.
Like, imagine we're watching, say, imagine you're watching Dunkirk, and every time there's an explosion, boing 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 boing.
So you mean you mean like watching Dunkirk, but with the scorched earth sound effects?
Sure, why not?
Flanky bombs for everyone. And the music continues despite me having slain the giant. Sure, why not? Again,
you cannot stop the edge.
The sound design is so bad.
Yeah.
But Teo, how are we supposed to be edgy without any awesome rock song?
Well, this game is clearly pumping the edge into me. I just want to cut my vein in order to not suffer anymore from this. Disclaimer, kids, don't actually cut your veins. You'll be surprised, Weebs. The anti-emo campaign was very harsh in the late, early 2000s.
I know this is off topic, but I'm so bored.
Go ahead.
You know one thing that's annoying?
Go ahead.
About the Switch. You cannot turn the Switch off from the menu. You have to get up and go to the console and hold down the power button. Yeah. Unlike the PS4 and Xbox One, you have no actual way of using the XMB to turn it off. It's annoying.
Why would you have it that far anyway?
Hey Pedro, I got a question actually. Speaking of,
She does have a good point though. I mean, there's really no reason.
I kind of the opposite in a sense, but I don't even use wireless controls. I just plug them in all the time. But come on, usually I think when you have a console, you just get it very close to you anyway.
Not to mention the Switch is essentially,
unless you want to use the portability. Anyway, cutscene. There you go. Kaileena actually has a new sword for us.
Oh. Wait, why?
Because she wants to help us, remember.
She's sure sending mixed messages.
Remember, she was a servant of the Empress, but she's trying to
She herself doesn't know.
Brilliant.
Hey Pedro.
Great writing anyway, everyone, right?
Hold on, we're watching a cutscene.
But where you fight it, she is.
Also, that cap. Look at the priest. He's just staring with his mouth open. Stop showing me these close-ups, game. This game is so butt ugly. Look at it. And this is supposed to be an HD remaster. People forked $50 for this shit.
To be fair, too, I mean, if the assets are terrible at the core, there's no much the remastering.
I'm sorry,
team can
I'm
do.
pretty-
And
I'm-
do a
I'm-
remake. For God's
Not
sake.
just that, Jova. I'm with what usually Pedro says. If Blue Points was the one in charge of this, they would have done a much better work anyway.
Well, yeah. Well, Bluepoint actually goes out of their way to reverse engineer the games.
The hour.
To the
and
point
kind
where
of-
they kind of make semi-remakes.
So yeah, anyway, yeah, the time is running out. We need to move on. And we got the Lion Sword. Essentially, we can do a charge attack with this, but I never use it because it takes too much time and you're exposed. Move on. But he has a bit more damage, so it's fine. Go ahead, Leaves.
Quick question, Pedro. Does Mario or does he have any form of multiplayer?
Yes. If you can play that, one player controls Mario with one Joy-Con, and the other player can use the other Joy-Con to control Cat.
Who is
Yeah.
freaking
Does
OP?
does it work online?
No. There's
No,
online
it's only couch
multiplayer.
co-op, Dweebs. Anyway, see you for part 9. Sorry, next part with more smaller imaginary Rage. See ya.
See you, everybody.
See ya.